Good morning. How are you? It's Friday the 13th. You're in the Smart Life Club. Don't worry, it's okay. You can wake up now. It's all right. We have coffee, and it's Friday the 13th. You're in the Smart Life Club, and this is the Coffee Break Show. And I'm so glad you've joined us. Welcome. We made it to Friday, huh? This was a heck of a week, wasn't it? And it's been full of surprises. And what we're going to be doing today, thank you for coming on. Do me a favor, put your name down here if you're new to the Smart Life Club. If you're been here before and you want to have part of the conversation, put your name down there. If you're watching this afterwards on the replay, put a hashtag replay so I know that you're there. And it's been a rocky week. I mean, a really rocky week. And we have investments that have fallen in, wow, I just can't even believe how far the investments have fallen. Not just stock market, crypto investments collapsed. Everything was like, boom. Big, huge coronavirus spreading. And there was so much. It was like walking into Friday the 13th at the beginning of the week. So today I thought, man, I just want to chill out. I need to hang with some people, have some coffee, and have an interesting conversation. And today I was thinking to myself, how can I have such interesting conversations with what's happening in the world? Because it seems like the world is the most interesting conversation. And I kept thinking as I looked at my work and I looked at my life, and I'm looking forward down the hallway, looking at what's going to transpire over a period of time. I thought one thing. I thought that for me, this is when your divinity needs to show up. This is when our divinity needs to come forward. And whatever that divinity is, I don't want to be a voice in the crowd. I want to be a voice of reason, a voice of proactivity, a voice for the divine, a voice that's saying for a moment, what if this lockdown means that we are locked down to contemplate our lives or to contemplate where we're at? Good morning, everyone. See you coming on. I just want to say hi. And I'm hoping that that Facebook user is Ryan, who's on his phone. If it is, good morning, my friend. Nice to see you. Karen, I'm really happy to see you this morning. Karen, happy Friday the 13th, my friend. Good morning. Happy Friday the 13th from Robin. Nice to see you on. Barb Tomlin. Good morning, everyone. I'm racing to the kitchen to get my coffee. Be right back. All right. That's cool. You know, sometimes that fresh cup of coffee and a group of friends to talk to is just heaven. Good morning. Karen says, wow, I didn't even think about it being Friday the 13th. Woohoo! It's going to be a great day. It is going to be a great day. Good morning, Donnie. Thank you so much for being here. Good morning, everyone. On this chilly, wet day from the mountains of Colorado at 8,100 feet. Yes, it is definitely chilly, wet. Yes, it is, Ryan. Thank you. Hey, Ryan. Nice to see you all. I want to let you know, yesterday, I read something that stunned me, and we have a Smart Life Club member, Tracy, who was at the store, and she said that she saw 5 women fist fighting over a case of tuna in the aisle. They were fighting over this case of tuna. And she got freaked out, and she walked over to the fresh vegetables and fruit, and she was like, there was nobody down these aisles. I'll shop here first. And to me, what's happening in the world is deliberate, but I'm going to be very self-responsible and say it's not deliberate by government. It's not deliberate by people who have misled you or propaganda. It's not deliberate of anything but how we respond. And we keep putting the blame on the outside. We keep saying that they made me scared, or they said this, or they said that. And people are flooding the stores and becoming violent. They're literally becoming violent over getting food and getting prepared and getting, things there. And to me, there has been a sloth of very relevant information about the virus and what happens and how it grows and what can happen to you and who it's targeting, etc. But the most relevant information I saw came out of China when it first started, before the CCP cut off people from being able to upload videos. And when they were uploading videos, I still saw videos last night where people were being completely beat up by their police and beat up by their own government. And the people got one video out. It's very hard for them to get a video out. And I have to tell you something. This morning, because of it all, I saw some videos that came through from Italy as well. And Italy, this guy is on Twitter. He put a video up. His sister has been in his house and dead for 24 hours, and they don't have enough emergency vehicles to come and get her, or enough something to come and get her. And I look and I feel so fortunate and so thankful. And I think to myself, is the wave coming this way, or is it going to be different for us? I don't know. But I do know this. I do know that there are people that are actually truly suffering in the world right now, really suffering. And all I want to do is say a prayer for them and, be with them. I feel very tenderhearted about what's happening in the world. I feel very tenderhearted about a woman who was in her 70s going shopping and people stealing her food from her. And we've gotten to the point where crazy has met momentum. Crazy has momentum. People feel like they're fighting for their life, or fighting for their family, or fighting for whatever they're fighting for. And they feel the need to be, a fighter in that way. And so it bothered me to see that kind of violence. I'm very tenderhearted this morning. I'm like on the verge of saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. And then I realized something very subtle. I mean, I don't like to watch it, but I also have to be careful of the story I tell myself about it. That somehow it's, if you take a look at Byron Katie's Loving What Is, this is what is. And so I was like, Vickie, how can you just pay attention to this and pay attention to the story you're telling you? Let go of the story you're telling you about it being bad or wrong or dangerous or something else. And how can you be grounded about it? It's a very hard thing, because we tell ourselves stories about how people are dangerous, or how people are suffering, or how people are mean, or how people are this. And we forget that those are, we go ahead and we bring to life whatever we see. So I thought to myself, well, instead of seeing this as some crisis, maybe it's something that the divine has put in front of us. So we observe ourselves and we say something to the tune of, what am I saying? Is this the opportunity for everyone to wake up in the way they wake up? I know for myself that I'm uber protected. I've just always been protected all my life. But when I tell myself stories about how the world is falling apart or whatever else, I'm adding to the manifestation of it. So what if I could say something different that I believed? Like, maybe lockdown is a form of helping us stay silent for a minute and put our devices down. What if it's about connecting with your family that's right here? Maybe it's spending time with your loved one that's with you at the house. Maybe it's spending some time having a conversation with someone on Skype. Maybe it's so that we slow down and we see how hard we've been toiling to get ahead, and we stop for a second and start connecting with each other, connecting with ourselves again. This doesn't have to be something that is this bad thing that's happening. Maybe it's happening because of the bad things that we've been doing that separate ourselves from the divine, or separate ourselves from from coming awake or conscious. Maybe it's something that is a blessing that is stopping something else from going down. And I think we're headed into financial turmoil? Yeah. I've seen a lot of my portfolio drop like, wow, I can't even believe it. And I know some of you are going, oh, there goes my portfolio. It dropped. So what would happen if we just did what they asked for a moment and we were still? What would happen if we were being still? What else could happen? What could show up? So I looked last night and I saw some of the shows that are watched like live shows. Seth, I can't remember his last name, but his show canceled indefinitely because they don't want to work together and get the virus. And I thought to myself, okay, as long as I can be on every morning from Monday through Friday, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to continue going. I don't need a studio audience. I have conversations with people, which I'm going to stop in a minute and read what you guys have to say. But I also want to say that if you're right now alone and you need some connection, you want to put yourself a support system together right now. And if you have Skype or Zoom or Facebook Live and you feel like dropping a message of hope and inspiration, I think the world needs that right now. I think some people don't know what's happening. They don't know what to do. There's a lot of fear. Some people are like, it's the end of the world. It's Armageddon. It's this. We don't know anything yet as we reveal what's going to happen over a period of time. But things are growing and things are getting serious about what's happening in the world. And there are three key areas that major things are happening in the world. One is they declared it a pandemic. Our financial systems are collapsing or, dropping definitely. And our food systems are collapsing as well. These three things. And so what we want to do is not go, oh my God, the sky is falling. We want to be able to say what can we do to create a little food for ourselves and our neighbors? What can we do to help the situation be nicer or more pleasant or not be so afraid? How can we empower ourselves during times of uncertainty? Let's see, fit fight over a case of tuna. Geez, yeah, it was a case of tuna. I'm happy I've been prepping for more than a month. I think that's great too. Exactly the crazy thing about 13 is that the Christians made it a bad omen because of the Wiccans believed that the number 13 was a magical number of people to have in a group to make things happen, get the intentions right. So Christians wanted to make that taboo. Interesting, because there's right now 13 of us. Well, as you read that, thank you. Good morning, Lori. Nice to see you. Sad but true. My son saw something similar in Denver yesterday and he couldn't believe it. Yes. These are nothing different than when you go to Black Friday. When you go to Black Friday, these kinds of fights are in stores. I have never once shopped a Black Friday ever because of violence. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to punch a human being for a toaster. So right now, that same crowd is shopping. Stay out of their way. Let's see. Panic brings on survival instincts, doing things they would never do under regular circumstances. Yes, or on Black Friday. I'm so happy to see the moisture today. Truth. Survival instincts can appear crazy. Yes, says, that's from Robin. Ryan says, grateful for the connection this group creates. Had a great convo offline with MJ the other day. She's awesome. I really like MJ. That's really good. I love the way you think, Ryan. I'm appreciating the opportunity to observe. I'm in the world, but not letting it pull me into the story. Yes, you can be in the world, but don't let it pull you into the story. You are your own divine entity. You are your own divine beingness. You are not controlled by what other people say or do. And you can look at this in a healthy way and actually feel some joy in it. The violence against another person, that just makes me sad. Going to uplift it and say, come on, people now, Smile on your brother. Everybody get together, and I know I hear you singing it. Try to love one another right now. That's what I'm saying. Sad, it's like the phrase, blessed be, which I love. It was a Christian phrase until Wiccans began to use it. Now it's taboo for Christians. Oh, I didn't know that. I love that phrase, blessed be. Barb Tomlin, exactly. Practice being totally present with what is. Yes, thank you, Barb, for that. That being here now, what if it's just your mind reacting, but what if everything is perfect according to the divine? What if it's perfect? And can we trust that perfection in that moment and know that the way through this isn't to think your way through it? It's to acknowledge your soul and have it direct you the way through it. When to be there, following what is, being present. You'll get a nudge. It'll say, it's time to move back over to here from there. It's time to do this right now. It's time to do that right now. If you listen to that inner voice, it'll guide you to the perfect place at the perfect time. The question is, can we shut our mind off enough, not try to hustle the next deal or hustle the next connection or hustle our way through it, but actually sit and be present with it. Actually sit and be present with what is and try to move forward that way. Then we have something that we can do. Now, there are bad actors and there are good actors in this. But guess what? You don't have to be an actor. You don't have to be the bad actor or the good actor. What if you were the observer and just stayed with that what is? What if you were just the observer and could stop yourself and say, what story am I telling myself? I wonder what story they're telling themselves. I wonder what story they're telling themselves. Do you know, we have the opportunity to create our own story right now. And our own story can be, oh my God, the sky is falling. It's blowing apart. It's going to be a crap show. And we can say it's going to be a crap show for everyone else. I'm divinely protected and I'm, creating my support systems. I think right now, one of the most empowering things you can do is create support systems. That's talking with people who are like-minded. And like-minded is, how can we be present with it? Not, this is the Republicans' fault. This is the Democrats' fault. This is the president's fault. Trust me, I do not believe this is the president's fault. It doesn't have anything to do with him. That's what I think. I may, have flamed some flaring flags, but I honestly believe that this is something much bigger than that. Ryan, irons sharpen irons. We support and inspire each other. Yes, they do. That was from Karen. Donnie says, yes, moisture is good, Robin, especially in the high desert valley. Yes. Barb Tomlin says, I figured some things out myself through the night. I'm actually excited about the opportunities that are arising out of this crisis. And it's interesting, Barb, because I did too. I literally sat down and said, what are the opportunities? Because I was tired of looking at the stuff that was blowing up. I was like, oh my God, this blew up, and oh my God, that blew up, and look at this blow up, and now they're fighting over there, and this. You could really follow that down the road there. And I was like, no, what are the opportunities right here? Every crisis has opportunities. And I don't mean like, well, now you can buy low because it's going to drop a little more, I think. But, buy low, and there you go. There's a lot of opportunities to be had there. And I don't want to go over every single one of them, but I will tell you this. Every crisis is an invention for opportunity to create well-being. And if we spend time focusing quietly in it, what's the opportunity for me right now? There are so many that we can take advantage of. And on this Friday, the 13th, I'm going to choose to say that I believe Friday the 13th is a magical number. It's a magical number. It's a magical time. But I have news for me. Every single day that I get up and I'm healthy and fed and loved, and I love what I'm doing. I do. I love what I'm working on so much. I love the team I'm working with. I'm loving the opportunities that we have built or had, and you ain't seen nothing yet. This is to me a sacred space, a sacred time. It's like the time where I think my company and the team I get to work with, or the teams I'm a part of, they're making a difference in the world. And what we do here makes a difference. And in my group of circle of friends, we kind of have a motto that says, "No burden is too heavy if everyone lifts." No burden is too heavy if everyone lifts. And if you're trying to lift things by yourself, you need to think of an opportunity where you can get some help and have people lift with you instead of you lifting by yourself. And it's an opportunity in so many ways, Barb. I want to thank you for putting that out there. That's the biggest reminder to me. Amazon, loving what is 4 questions. Yes, I love Byron Katie's work. Love it, love it, love it. And I can do it so fast in my head now because I've done it for decades. Okay, that is the perfect attitude. And imagine what amazing opportunities are going to come from your way because of it. Yes. Remember, you get where you focus. You get that whatever attitude you are, you do not have to be part of any story. You can create your own story. You are your own entity. You are your own divine. You are a piece of the great divine. That part of you, your soul, it's got everything you need and want, and it's got the whole path laid out for you. We just have to stop listening to this all the time and start listening inward, inward, inward. And this time right now, this very time that we are living, this moment of living inward is exactly the perfect thing. If we get to lock down, let's just lock inward. Let's go somewhere and listen and meet ourselves in a different way. Let's meet our family in a different way and our neighbors in a different way. And I'm not saying be socially, you can still have social distance. We're having contact right now and we're socially distant, and be safe and be smart. But we want to be able to be wise at what we're picking. There are opportunities here in the world, and we want to know, how can we take advantage of them? Hey, Joni, I see you on, my sister. How are you? Let's see. Absolute. Scott says there are a lot of addicts that'll soon be going through withdrawal with all this mandatory social distancing. Change is upon us. Ooh, that is interesting. Marie Jo, good morning. It's nice to see you on, my friend. Thank you for being here with us. Every crisis has opportunities, says Karen. Barb says, absolutely. We're going to see just how powerful positive energy can be. And that's the point right there, Barb. You get to choose whether you're going to see things as dark, heavy, gross, and ugly, or you're going to see that there's a positive change going on. It looks messy right now, but it's a positive change going on right now. And there's a new paradigm birthing. And I think that's very interesting, Scott. What an interesting perspective. There are a lot of addicts that'll soon be going through withdrawal with all this mandated social distancing. Change is upon us. What if we get self-reflective? That is such an empowering thing you just said. Let's see. Robin says, it's somebody. Let me go back up here. Robin says, heavy if everyone no burden is too heavy if everyone lifts. Ryan says, take back that Kabbalistic inversions. Yes, I'd love to say sorry, but it will be for me too. What's a great tune to repeat today? Love you, sister. Something about that. Anyway, that was great. Every day is a gift. And let's see. This is from Joni Lucero, by the way. Hey, Joni. Every day is a gift. Yes, my friend. So grateful for all of you. Thank you. Me too, Joni. That's just so nice to see you on and have you with us. The world is definitely crazy. Let's see. And we're grateful for you, Joni, said Karen. Love you back. Greater than 3. Hugs from afar from my friend. The implications are staggering, Scott. There's so many dominoes that are affected that we never considered in the mix. Yes, it's really true. Change is upon us. That doesn't have to be a negative thing. Prepare, live with joy throughout all things. Yes, I want to say, Scott, has breaking. Miami's mayor has tested positive for the COVID-19 after attending an event with Brazil's president, who is claiming he tested negative. Wow. The Brazilian president, press secretary, tested positive. The press secretary. This is the same person that President Trump had dinner with last Saturday. Yes. Wow. That's an interesting thought, isn't it? It's the same person that President Trump had dinner with last Saturday. Scott says that was sports addicts. I grew up with a bunch of them. Yes, I get it. The sports addicts are going to be yes, because there is no, wait a minute. Robert Stern, I hope you're still on, my friend. What a night. It's so not, I haven't seen you in a while. Glad you're here. Robert says this is a time to reflect ourselves and what is important, personal and business. Reach out to loved ones and reevaluate your business being online. Yes, it is very valuable to have your business online. That is very true. Nice to see you. I'm glad you're doing okay there, Robert. It's good. Joni, Karen Sachs Epley, I so agree. Thank you. Ryan says, why is it no one we know personally gets CV, only celebrates the government officials? Why is it that no one personally gets CV, coronavirus, only celebrities and government officials? That's an interesting question. That's an interesting question. Let's see. Scott, when the MBL, Major Baseball League, and NCAA cancel events, this is a big thing. It's a real thing. MJ said, howdy, Ryan. I heard you guys had a good talk. I'm so glad. That's just success right there for me. Ryan, just wait. And we're going to see what's happening as the world moves through. But here's what I want to say to you. As long as I can go live every day, I'm going to continue going live. I want to spread a message of hope and possibility. I'm going to talk about what happens in the world with the virus and everything that's happening on Mondays. Unfortunately, right now, we have a lot of turmoil. And last night when I was talking with my team, I was like, well, I'm going to have to talk about this. And they were like, yes, you can't keep it in the closet. Everyone knows it's happening. So I wanted to take this Friday the 13th and say, we can be anything we want to be. We don't have to be the fear of the crowd. We don't have to be the ego making fun of the fear of the crowd. We don't have to be the egotistical who think they know everything about what's going on and nobody else does. And we don't have to be the righteousness of the crowd. We can be the authenticity and love standing in a crowd and just standing in your own truth. You know, that unconditional love conversation that Barb had with us, I think it was yesterday, when we were talking about your book and being that book. It's a time now to become the unconditional love and just acknowledge that people are where they are. You don't have to join them. You don't have to pick a tribe of opinion to be with. You can be your own tribe, which is #woke, standing still in my inner power with my inner knowingness, and meet that and be with a like-minded group of people who feel that unconditional love may be the only way through this. Think others soon. Yes. Robert says, unfortunately, I know 5 here in New Jersey that have it. You be careful, Robert. Robin says they're out there and more flying, schmoozing, where we are hidden in our little worlds. Yes. Robin says to Robert, that's a lot of Rob in there. You and your daughter stay safe. Yes, you and your daughter stay safe. And he said, yes, we are. Thank you. That means a lot to me. And I know you'll protect her at all costs. Interesting. They're just out and about more, flying, interacting, and jet setting. Yeah, they are. And so, well, the virus it does not discriminate. It doesn't care if you're rich or poor or famous or influencer or a nobody. It goes where it goes. It's going to do what it's going to do. And so, it's definitely curbing egos. Whoa, Robert, be safe and keep your daughter safe. And he is. Ryan said, missed yesterday. Please tell me more about Unconditional Love book, please. I will in a second. Thank you. I truly need to be on the call today. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here, Joni. I actually needed to see you as well. Donnie said, our friends, a good friend, a doctor in Italy, passed away a few days ago. It was at that moment it became real for her family. Then they stocked up on supplies. Yeah, there's a lot of late runners right now that are panicked because the supply chain is broken. There's not a lot of food coming back in. There's not, and you know how that $40, $60, I told you guys, food is going to be the cheapest it's ever going to be. I told you that back over here. And then it was going to go, price is going to go up. We are at that point where the price is going to go up and they're going to continue to go up. Ridiculous prices for stuff. There's not this big shipment coming in from China. They're still on lockdown. I think we're finally up to 50 days. So I want to answer Ryan's question. Yesterday on the show, we had, if you were the title of your memoirs, what would the title of your memoirs be? And Barb said, my title of my memoirs would be Unconditional Love. And I thought, now that is just and the subtitle was really good. About, I can't remember the subtitle exactly, but the subtitle was absolutely beautiful as well. And that to me was absolutely what we were talking about, your memoirs. What would it be? Hey, Brian, nice to see you again. Sorry to hear that, Donald, said MJ. Yeah, me too. Brian says, my wife is a doctor and vice president of a major healthcare system. Wow, that's cool. I want to hear what she has to say. She's been up at 3 a.m. and home at midnight fighting this thing. Oh, bless her heart. She's on the front lines fighting. Whew. Now, these are heroes right here. She's on the front line fighting this thing. It's real, but I don't panic unless she panics. And if she panics, there's a real reason. But the amazing healthcare workers are always the last to panic. Brian, I want to thank her for her service. Sometimes we think our front end is always our military people, but the front end of this is all our medical people. I know right now I have a son-in-law that is a nurse, an RN at a hospital. And every day I say a prayer for him right now because they put themselves in danger dealing with this virus. And as that grows, as they're, working every single day. I mean, come on, listen to this. Up at 3 a.m. and home at midnight. This woman takes a nap every day. She probably hasn't slept in days. She takes a nap and then gets up and does it every day. Brian, thank you, your wife, for her service. Joni says, sorry to hear about your friend who passed away. Don says it became real at that moment. Yes. Facebook user, thank you, Vickie. Brian says, oh my God, you're making me cry now. I know, it's very tender. There's a lot of people on the front lines they're literally the heroes of the world, putting themselves in harm's way, which is getting up and getting dressed every day, taking a nap every day, and fighting for humanity. It's not just their local hospital. They're fighting for humanity. The front lines on this are our medical personnel, our EMS, everybody out there fighting every single day to protect us. And so to me, even if I'm crying right now, I feel grateful for them. I feel like, wow, thank you for doing that for us, and, containing it so it doesn't spread, and, putting up these systems where we can not walk into the hospitals. And there's, National Guards deploying right now to make sure that we have hospital areas that we can just get tested before we go into the hospital. And those are the heroes of this war. Those are the heroes right now, those people out there. And your wife is one of them. And I can only imagine how you might be feeling, Brian. You know, that's your wife, that's your love, that's your family. That's a big sacrifice, my friend. And you tell her, wow, thank you for your service. That is so true, Brian. As a healthcare provider myself, I understand that it's about service, and I include EMTs, police officers, etc., as they are the first responders. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, thank you to all the first responders that are doing this. Brian, that's a blessing, she is, and you as you support her. Yes. Ryan, you are the Facebook user that Vickie can't see. Would you please consider using StreamYard? He can't. He's on his cell phone, Robin. I know it's Ryan because when he's on his cell phone, he says, Facebook user, hey, Vickie, it's Ryan. So it's cool, Ryan. We know you're on your cell phone right now. Much love to you and your family, Brian. Lots of prayers for them. And so today I want to end with that because I think that's a real true thing that makes me tender about this story. I want to let you know I'm very tender this morning, this Friday the 13th, as we look at the world. We get to choose the story we want to, that it's like you get to choose the state of being you want to manifest in this world. You can either choose that fear manifestation, or you can choose that there's opportunities right now manifestation. And this weekend, I'm going to practice being the attitude I want to see on the planet. This is a time to be that Gandhi quote, be the thing that you want to see in the world right now. And if it's caring, love, and kindness, and compassion, and opportunity, and fearlessness, then that's the moment to be it right now. And for everyone out there who has loved ones on the line of duty, who are working so hard to protect humanity, please stay safe. And I will see you Monday. I'll see you all Monday, and I will continue to go live every single day. We will be a support system for everybody to come and have a laugh or a giggle or a conversation like this. I will try to be as real and authentic as I can be. And Monday, we will be doing what in the world is happening. So it'll be an update. And you guys, everyone, I want MJ's message to be just spread across. She said, stay safe and have a great weekend, y'all. All right. Bye.